Well, that one was harder. For me, anyway. We were doing, like, everything. You did. You did, Brick. It would be harder. Or just, like, a lot more things to investigate.
Iris was in the Somnium earlier.
Yes, we saw.
An unidentified figure tried to stab Iris to death. And Date and Aiba...
Who is that figure?
Probably So himself.
True, he could imagine himself in his Somnium that way. Mr. Date's ego algorithm processed the figure into that particular image.
What are you people talking about? If you're quite done here, hurry up and release me.
Or I thought you were asleep. About the Somnium earlier.
I saw it on the monitor. Aiba saving Iris as she was being stabbed. Of course, since you and Aiba are one and the same, it's like you saved her, Date.
We saved her! She's
But
still
that was
dead,
just
though.
a dream. It's not real. Saving her in Somnium won't save her now. I'm sorry.
But it felt good. Did the crime scene investigation team report anything?
No, nothing yet. They arrived a while ago, but that warehouse is owned by Okiura Fishery.
I know. Aiba, can you check to see if it's the Okiura we know?
Searching.
Can we get an arrest warrant for him?
Are you kidding me? You know that what we find in Somnium can't be submitted as evidence in court. Besides, we don't even know for sure if that figure was so.
You said it was.
I said that it's probably him.
Excuse me? I'm right here. I can hear everything you're saying.
Don't say that if you want to have good information. There you go. You got anything to say? I'm gonna leave him for last. About the mysterious figure.
The subject of the sync remembers certain persons or objects that appear in Somnium. But they might not have a clear form. Our dreams are sometimes vague or unclear, after all.
Usually.
Even the subject of the dream themselves. I told you earlier that the syncer experiences the dream from the perspective of an observer. That is why the person creating the dream can appear within it. But perhaps they do not have an objective view of themselves, like a mirror or picture. Perhaps he's never watched himself on television. Rare for a politician, but not unheard of. He lacks that objective picture of himself. He remains stoic and unattached despite his position of power. I find that quite powerful. To be able to put your ego aside and see yourself as God sees you
Isn't he corrupt?
is an ability many charismatic people share.
More about the figure.
He may not have a rational, objective assessment of himself. So, even if this figure is ambiguous...
It could be so.
Indeed.
What is the ego algorithm you mentioned?
Imagine the human brain as being made up of two elements. Memory and algorithmic structure. The former is preferable because the latter can be problematic. It can output things based on the inputs it is given. To make this easier to understand, compare this to a computer. Memory is like your data stored on a hard disk.
Okay.
The algorithm is the program.
Okay.
This program controls everything, from higher cognitive functions to primitive instinct. This program is what creates the phenomenon of consciousness.
How does syncing work?
During a sync, the syncer's consciousness, or ego, is brought into the subject's somnium. They enter the subconscious mind, or more accurately, sink into it. At this time, the syncer's memories are left in their original body. Picture an egg. The ego is the egg yolk that goes into the subject's brain. The sinker's memories are the whites which remain in the shell. The sinker, or rather the sinker as their pure ego, experiences the subject's somnium.
Sure.
But to be precise, it is not only ego. When synced, a modicum of memory data does get sent into the subject's brain. Imagine separating an egg yolk from its whites. No matter how you try, some of the egg whites will always stick
True.
to the yolk.
100% true.
This is just like that.
Is it also just as confusing? Because I was hoping you had some information that wouldn't be confusing. Because I don't like
In
him.
short, it is your ego algorithm. What you call your mind. Recognition, cognition, consciousness.
Okay, is that it?
All of these processes are incomprehensible without the ego algorithm. However, the Wadjet system is revolutionizing the way we think about consciousness.
The Wadjet system controls my core programming.
Oh, really?
Using Wadjet, we
Wait,
could
we remember
map
that.
the neural
Yeah.
circuitry of
We
the
knew that.
human brain.
That's not new.
And we discovered a specific circuit that is key to the phenomenon of consciousness. However, we human beings are still unable to fully grasp it. It's far too complicated. But even if we don't understand it, we can still use it. You don't have to understand electromagnetism to use a microwave oven. The Wadjet system is how we are able to extract the sinker's consciousness.
Yeah, but if it
That
breaks,
is what makes syncing
I don't
possible.
have a clue. Okay, you're done. Okay, so... why did you call Shoko?
Come to think of it, I still haven't heard your explanation for this. 2 days ago, you called Shoko Nadami just after 9 p.m. Why?
That is a private matter that I will not discuss with you.
You can say that. What's your alibi for Shoko's murder?
What were you doing at 5 p.m. 2 days ago?
Reading a book at home. You can ask my housekeeper or my bodyguards. They will confirm that for you.
That does
Not-
match what the bodyguard said earlier.
Yeah, but...
But they're like family to him. They're not above telling a lie to protect their boss.
About Iris.
I've been telling you I don't know anything.
That's impossible. I saw Iris in your dream. You have to have some memory of her.
What are you talking about? I don't understand a word of this.
You killed her. You did it. You did it.
I didn't.
Oh,
Are you planning on acting dumb all night?
yes.
How did you know Iris was stabbed?
I heard it.
What?
On my way to this place, I heard that woman over there talking. Something about a girl who got stabbed in the back.
Are you talking about me?
Yes, you.
I don't remember exactly what I said. It's possible that I mentioned a body with stab wounds to the back.
Boss.
She's covering for him.
It
That's
is
twice now.
impossible to determine now.
I feel like she's covering for him.
He very well may not have seen Iris's body.
No. He still must have. He was in the warehouse.
But does that mean
That's
we
just a
can
guess.
conclude for certain that he saw the corpse?
Hello?
Date, the investigation team is calling.
This is Date from Abyss. What happened?
Is this Kawasaki?
Hey, sorry to call you out of the blue. There's something we want to check. Is now a good time?
Go for
Sure,
it.
what is it?
You said you found a body at Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. The one at Ariake? Warehouse District?
Is it gone?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Why? What happened?
It's, not here.
What's not there?
We searched all over the warehouse. We didn't find any bodies.
That's creepy. That's very creepy.
What do you mean there's no body?
And Iba wasn't on.
Yeah, we looked everywhere, but nothing.
Date, I am not doubting you. However, are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I saw it. I know I saw it. I saw Iris's body with my own right eye.
Then perhaps someone moved the body. Between the time we left and CSI arrived.
It's the only time they could have done it.
No, there's another possibility.
There is?
There is? What other possibility?
Date?
Iris!
What are you doing? Barging in without ringing the doorbell? Oh, you see, Mizuki ended up staying at my place. Something wrong?
The world.
I think I need to update my title
Changed.
to Jaw Drop Count to 8. Now we're gonna go to 8. Save. Sucks as Brick went to a went somewhere. So we didn't see that. have
Iba
no
and I
idea.
saved Iris during the sink yesterday. She wasn't killed.
True, but that was only a dream.
Maybe the dream changed reality.
Impossible.
Then how else would you explain it? Iris came back to life.
This is super weird. I like it. About Renju, which we haven't heard of from yet.
Mizuki went to Bloom Park 3 nights ago. She was prompted by a Nile message from Renju.
Mizuki, Daddy got caught up in something serious. Please come to Boom Park. Yada, yada, yada.
There are 3 possibilities. 1. Renju killed Shoko, or was an accessory to the murder. 2. Renju was threatened or blackmailed into luring Mizuki to the scene. 3. The culprit used Renju's phone to send the Nile message. In any case, the motive is still unknown. We need to talk to Renju.
Renju, where did you go?
Where is he?
You asked Mama at Marble for information regarding Renju Okiura, correct? It is possible she may have something for you by now.
Maybe. We also had the Yakuza people get us stuff. Yeah. But I had a promise for him a meeting with Iris. Moma can wait for now. Oh, okay.
We can talk to Iris's mom as well. She was Renju's classmate, right? Iba told me about her.
About the fishery.
I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company
we
from
knew
his
that before.
father,
That's right.
and it was instead given to other persons.
That's right.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
What a dream-changing reality.
It is absurd. Not possible. Dreams are figments of the imagination. An incident which took place entirely in your mind cannot have any bearing on the real world. That is preposterous. Consider
I wonder if
it.
they make that happen.
If you were to
in this
find
game.
money in your dream, does your bank account balance go up in reality?
That would be great.
If you were to be attacked by aliens in your dream, Does a swarm of UFOs invade Earth?
If you
But at
have
the
a beautiful
warehouse,
mansion with a bunch of...
You must have been hallucinating.
Never mind.
Within Mizuki's Somnium, you saw Iris's frozen corpse. It is affecting your mental state. Last night, you were so fazed by it that you couldn't speak. If it bothers you to this degree, why not go talk to Iris?
Where is Iris now?
Her cell phone is on. I can trace her via GPS. She is currently somewhere in the Lemniscape building.
Okay. About the fishery?
I would suggest searching the warehouse again. You may be able to discover why Iris was resurrected.
Of course, she just had to be out of battery. About so.
Congressman Sejima is suspicious in more ways than one. Exhibit A. 3 days ago, So called Shoko Nadami's
Yeah,
phone.
now we're 3 days ago. Of
We
course.
still don't know exactly why. He only told us it was meant to be private. Exhibit B. So Sejima was at Okiura Fishery Warehouse last night. But he didn't inform us of this. There must be something he doesn't want us knowing. Exhibit C. So was in Iris's Somnium. Dreams are constructed from memories. Yet the good congressman denies he
I think she said that backwards.
ever knew Iris.
Where is So now?
I sent him home yesterday.
You released him?
What was I supposed to do? We can't hold him without solid proof. What we saw with Iris hasn't happened yet.
In any case, we have to speak with him again.
About prophetic dreams.
Stranger things have been known to happen. 2 days ago, Date found Iris's frozen corpse in Mizuki's Somnium. It must have been a prophecy.
Boss.
There's a lot of stuff in this world that can't be explained by science.
Boss's knack for change is one of her good qualities. Not having beliefs is what she believes in. That's how she established herself as a major player in the police department. Because she believed what she wanted to.
Date and Iba saved Iris and Somnium. And that changed the history of the real world? Well, I guess it's not impossible.
That isn't what you said yesterday.
That was then, this is now. A woman's mind changes with the phases of the moon, you know?
Yep.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Anyway, I believe in Date. I trust him more than anyone else in Abyss.
There are 4 people I should talk to. So Sejima, Iris and Hitomi Sagan, and Mama. And I need to check the warehouse one more time.
I want to check the warehouse
We have
first.
many avenues of investigation.
Let's get moving.
Hey, Brick! Guess who's still okay? Iris! Yay! In fact, let's go talk to her. Yay!
I apologize for yesterday. I arrived uninvited.
No, I'm grateful. Thanks to you, Mizuki has her voice back.
Yeah, now where's Iris?
No, I didn't do anything.
I can't move. Where'd she go? About Iris.
I've put Iris through so much. I was 19 and single when she was born. People didn't take kindly to that. But Iris was such a fighter. She always protected me. I remember, one time at the nursery, some of the other mothers were talking about me. Iris ran up to them and said, "Don't talk about my mommy!" I'm supposed to be the mother, but it's Iris who's always protecting me.
So cute. Where's Renju?
You asked me that yesterday.
No point in hiding it. I told her about Renju's disappearance.
Right from the hospital? I'm sorry. I have no idea.
It's Monday. Isn't it a school day?
Today's a holiday. I suppose there's never a day off for a detective.
Or a teacher, technically.
But you aren't a detective, right?
Technically, yes. But I still deal with crime.
I see. Today is a holiday.
You forgot too, didn't you?
What about your parents? Parents.
They died when I was 17. I was an orphan, and my relatives lived far away. They might have taken me in, but I was already in my second to last year of high school.
Let's say.
It wasn't a good idea for me to move that late. So I decided to stay here, by myself.
And take care of Iris.
Yes. All alone. But Renju would help sometimes.
They died when Hitomi was 17. So she was an orphan. She could have gone somewhere else, so she stayed here by myself. And take care. She didn't have Iris until 19, I thought. I was 19 and single. She had Iris when she was 19. Why are they talking about staying at high school here when she's 17? Come on. About Iris.
It was always just me and her. Vacations, barbecues, zoos, amusement parks. Just me and her. Oh, that reminds me. When Iris was 5, there was a children's theater show in Bloom Park. It was called Milky Moon. It was about girls as magical space rangers and such.
Totally.
She loved singing and dancing. Even as a kid, whenever she heard music, her body would start moving. It was a quirk of hers. And she did it at the show, too. Toward the end, when all the Milky Moon girls were dancing to the ending song...
Sailor Moon, I get it.
Iris climbed up onto the stage and danced with them. I tried to stop her, of course. I grabbed her arm and tried to get her to sit, but before I knew it, she was up there, dancing. And everyone was so excited. Even I was dancing by the end of it. When it was over, she had the biggest smile on her face. Mama, you're a good dancer. That's the kind of girl she was.
Adorkable.
Whenever she sees someone playing music on the street, she'll run up and join them, right then and there. Music at the train station, the crosswalk beeping, even at convenience stores. When their little chime played, she would start dancing. It almost got her into trouble once. She was on the jungle gym and a truck drove by. It was playing loud music out the windows. She climbed up to the top and started dancing, but she lost her balance and fell. She fractured her leg pretty badly. It was on a Sunday, and it was hard to find an open emergency care. I was carrying her on my back, running and running through town. I could still hear her crying. Will I still be able to dance, Mommy? Can I still dance? She cried and cried into my shoulder. It was the only time she ever cried so much. No, that's not true. There was one other time.
Probably when you got your shoulder shot.
6 years ago, I was the victim of a shooting. After the surgery, Iris came in running, and she was sobbing.
Mommy, don't die! Don't die! Please don't die, Mommy! Don't die!
I swore to myself then that I would protect her, no matter what. Iris is everything to me, more important than my own life.
Iris must really enjoy dancing.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
Though her drawing skills could use some work.
Drawing skills?
Look at the drawing on the wall.
I've been wondering about that picture.
Iris drew it when she was 12.
That's you on the left and Iris in the middle, correct?
Is that number
Yes.
89 on the right?
And who's on the right?
The man I was dating at the time. It was only for 3 months, but... I met him about 6 years ago. Have you been to the Ikume Shrine in the Minato district? I was praying there one day, and I heard a voice. Well, more like a groan.
Because he was
Behind
shot.
the shrine, I saw a man sitting on the ground. He was bleeding badly from his stomach. I took out my phone to call an ambulance, but he grabbed my wrist, and he held me, and then... He kissed me. I was shocked, but when I stared into his eyes, then I heard footsteps, and then a bunch of men yelling. They were looking for him. When the voices and footsteps faded, he let me go. Don't call an ambulance, and don't call the cops. I knew he had to be a criminal, so I took him to an underground clinic I knew.
Dang!
You took him to a mob doctor?
Renju's friend. I only met him once.
Whew. The drawing on the wall looks interesting. Look, I did it.
Even though we had our first kiss seconds after meeting each other, it took a long time before I got to see him again. The first time we held hands was when we watched a horror movie together. The first time I took his arm was when we went to a haunted house in an amusement
Dude,
park.
why are you going to all the scary things?
But I wasn't the one who grabbed him. A zombie jumped out and scared us, and he clung onto my arm. He had that cute side to him. And I was falling in love.
Aw.
Our second kiss was in the car. It's cliché, I know, but we drove around at night, looking at all the lights. We parked our car near a warehouse and kissed.
And?
I don't think we ever said I love you, but we both knew. We were getting closer and closer. I introduced him to Iris about a month after I first met him. Iris never had a father figure in her life before. She warmed up to him immediately and treated him like a real dad. From then on, it was always the three of us together. We would go to the beach, to the river, the zoo, the amusement park. Going to barbecues with another person was a new experience for me and Iris. Everything felt so fresh.
So clean.
Every day was so exciting. Oh, sorry. You asked about the picture.
Yeah, a while ago.
You wanted to make okonomiyaki one day.
That's
He was
so
working
good.
with the hot plate.
I like
It was
okonomiyaki.
ridiculous. He was trying to flip one, and it flew up in the air and landed right on my head. Iris saw the whole thing and laughed and laughed. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in a long time.
And then you started burning.
I was having so much fun that I put an okonomiyaki on their heads too. Plop, plop. I added the bonito flakes and mayo and sauce. At this point, there was no going back.
Okonomiyaki is essentially a breakfast pancake. That's a bunch of, like, cabbage and... It's a cabbage pancake, and okonomiyaki kind of means whatever you want, or just a hodgepodge of stuff, so you can put whatever you want in it, and it's delicious. I've had it at some ramen shops before. They only serve it on weekends, I think, or on a Sunday. They only serve it on Sundays.
Eggs flew, flour going everywhere. The room was not a pretty sight.
Their mayo
After
tastes
our
different
battle,
than
we
ours.
laughed like crazy. We were rolling around on the floor. So Iris decided to draw it. It's nostalgic.
That's why they had things on their heads.
But those days didn't last. 6 years ago, in November, a man with a gun broke into our house. Fortunately, Iris wasn't home at the time, but my boyfriend was. That's why the gunman came. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him, and he would never stop. He pulled the trigger. I tried to protect him. The bullet hit me, but the police arrived. They were both arrested and incarcerated.
Why was he after your boyfriend?
Before he met me, he committed some terrible crime.
Plural.
I don't know the details, but it was.
He killed a
awful.
lot of people.
So he became a target for underworld criminals. I don't know exactly why, but I know that he betrayed them in some way.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
I had heard that incident was a random break-in gone wrong.
Oh. That's not true. I lied about it at the time, because of Mizuki. Mizuki is Iris's friend. If she found out, Iris would find out too. I didn't want Iris to know.
Know what?
Dude, she's like gotta
I
be
was dating a
super
criminal.
pumped.
It was her father figure.
Hold on.
Iris looked up to him.
I'm really curious. Because again, we were guessing that about 130 kilos. I want to get that to pounds. 130 kg pounds. 286? She's an ant woman. Lifting multiple times her own
If she
weight.
found out about his past.
Whew. Jeebus.
Date, we can't spend time reminiscing.
I can't bench that much either. I think my max was like 230.
We have to get moving.
That was on max day.
Yeah, let's go.
Jeez. Whew. Quit beeping at me.